All right, let's break it down. So my top 4 mistakes I made in trading as a scalper. So I've been trading for a while now, and these have been the top 4 mistakes that I have made in trading. Okay, so let me break it down. And I gave you the list right here, but I'm gonna break down everything and how I've overcame these, but also why they're here. So number 1 is hesitation. So the reason I have hesitation on number 1 is because if you hesitate as a scalper, you will not make it. I'm telling you, you will not make it. Scalping, you have to be quick. You have to be on your toes. You have to be on point, because if you are not, if you just are scared, if you overthink too much, then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna miss the trade. And that's what happened a lot of the times for me. I would study, I would back test, I would do all this dumb shit that I thought was helping me as a trader to make money, but it was actually making it worse. And then once I started figuring out that hesitation was the killer of my success, or the killer of my profits, then I stopped and I thought about it and I said, okay, well, why am I hesitating? What am I actually doing wrong, or what can I improve on? And within due time, I realized that it was hesitation. And what I did was, I will go over that in the latter half of the video, but what I did was I just kept going over it. I kept going over, and I kept seeing that every single time I hesitated, I lost money. I lost and I missed opportunities. And that was the killer to me as a scalper, because for me, I like entering trades and I like to be in and out. When I thought too much, or when I waited too long, those trades would leave without me and I would be done for. Or if I thought that I was going to lose money, then guess what? I wouldn't take the trade because of hesitation. But I knew that this is everything that I want. It was rejecting off of the zone that I wanted perfectly. It was doing everything that I wanted. But when it came time for me to actually take the trade and execute, I wouldn't do it because of hesitation. So that's number 1. Number 2 is fear of losing. This is a big one, but this is with everything. Fear of losing. If you are fearful of losing, you might as well quit trading. You might as well quit right now. You might as well not even trade anymore. And the reason I say that is because there are gonna be so many instances, so many situations where you're gonna have to take that trade, where you're gonna feel that fear, and you just gotta do it anyways. You just have to, because if you're fearful and you don't like that feeling, then guess what? That's the feeling that you're gonna have to use. That feeling is the feeling you're gonna have to feel every single day, not just today, not just tomorrow, but every single day if you want to be a trader. There's no way that you don't want to feel fear and you want to be a trader. Okay? Now you might say, well, what about the profitable traders? Do they feel fear? They feel fear as well, but they don't deal with it like a bitch like you. When you feel fear, you fucking don't take the trade. When they feel fear, they see their setup, they know everything is correct, so they take the trade even though they're fearful. So that's the difference between a profitable trader, or a consistent trader, or a trader that actually knows how to trade, than a trader who doesn't. A trader that does know how to trade, understand that fear is a part of the game, and that's it. A trader who doesn't know how to trade lets that fear dictate if he takes that trade or not. And that's what's fucking it up. Okay, so fear of losing is number 2. And it's very important. It's very important because number 2, fear of losing, is the reason why a lot of people don't take trades. It's a big reason why people have FOMO. And this is not what we want. We don't want to be fearful when it comes to the markets. We want to just go and straight execute. When we see our trade, we execute. And fear of losing does play a role in hesitation. Over trading, taking too many trades. Oh, hold up. I spelled that wrong. Here's the thing. For me, I'm a scalper, so I'm in and out. And usually you hear a lot of things and you see a lot of videos on YouTube where scalpers are taking multiple trades. They take one trade, they take another trade, they take another trade, they take another trade, and boom. Okay? And I thought that was the way you were supposed to trade as a scalper. But for me, it was so much better to take that trade and be in and out and then be done for the day. When I started over trading, taking too many trades, I would be up around $100, and then I would be up around $200, and then I would take a loss for let's say $50, and then another one for $25, and then all that shit right there, taking too many trades, it just fucks you up because it's too much for me. it was just too much. It's just too much. Like, why do I have to take another trade, another trade, another trade? Why not just take one and be good for the day? And if I didn't make enough, okay, I can add more money or I can hold a runner, because it's crazy. But I've seen this happen a lot of the times that initially I'm entering a trade as a scalp, but then I see the momentum start push up, push up, push up, so I hold runners. And then I get an overall view and I see that it's actually a breakout, or it's actually a break of structure, or it's actually a reversal, and we're going to the upside with a lot of momentum, and it looks like it wants to tap into a higher time frame. Supply zone or demand zoners looking to grab liquidity on a higher time frame. So initially I wasn't even planning on holding that trade that long. It was just, I planned on it as a little scalp, but it turns out to be a fucking massive ass trade, a massive ass W. But that's what happens a lot of the times with me, with my strategy. But what I was doing is I was trying to catch one trade that was very good, and instead of holding runners, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just catch this trade, a little small move, and then catch another trade, and then catch another trade, and then catch another trade. And what that did is that it fucked me up, because it was too many trades. I was staring at the charts for too long, and I was just doing too much. I was really just doing too much. So over trading, taking too many trades has to be one of the biggest things that I did wrong as a trader in these last couple years. It was just over trading, taking too many trades. I thought, oh, I took a loss. Okay, let me make it up with this next trade. Nowadays, when I take a loss, I'm like, all right, I took a loss. I can make it back tomorrow, or I can make it back in 2 days, or I can make it back. And honestly, I'm not even thinking about making it back. I'm just like, I'll just let the markets borrow the money from me. I'll get it back tomorrow, or I'll get it back whenever I feel like it. Or it's just a part of the game. I understand that if I take a loss and it's my first trade and it's 930, 931 or 932 and I took a loss, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I need to make my money back. No, I'm not in a rush to make my money back. I don't give a fuck. That's the thing. After I take the trade, I'm like, okay, I took one trade and I go on about my day. But one thing that helped me with that, and I'm gonna give you what works for me to help me overcome it. But what helped me with that a lot is having other shit that I have going on. When trading is the only thing that I have going on, then it fucks up your brain. But when I had other things going on, when I was going to the gym, when I was reading books, and I still do this, but when I read books, I go to the gym, I work on content, I have another YouTube channel that I work on, I don't even care about that fucking trade, or I don't even care about making that money back, because I take a loss in trading, but then I look at my YouTube stats and I'm like, oh shit, I just made $100 today off of one video. Oh shit. I distract myself very quickly, and that's one thing that I did, is I distract myself very quickly, and this is what helps me. So instead of sitting there and just going over the loss and just, oh my, I can't believe I took this loss, why did I take this loss, I literally close my laptop and I go on about my day, because that shit doesn't matter to me. Like it doesn't matter to me. When the more focus I put into it after it's done, the more importance I give it, the more energy I give it, the more of an importance it has. And it's the same thing with W's as well. It's not I treat W's and L's differently. I don't give a fuck if I take a loss or a W at all. It's a part of the process. It's supposed to happen. If I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, that loss or that W is supposed to happen. And that's how my mindset is when it comes to this shit. Okay? And that's what, when I start to switch my mindset to that, that's when I stopped over trading. I was only over trading because I thought that I had to be right. I needed to be right. It's like my ego was like, yo, you need to be right, you need to be right, you need to be right. But I didn't need to be right at all. It doesn't fucking matter. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll figure it out, and I'll figure out what I did wrong. And then I'll use it for the next day. But that's really it. If I sit there and I dwell over that loss that I took, oh my fuck, I lost so much money. I can't believe I lost. It doesn't fucking matter. I lost $500, $600. Okay, cool. I got other shit that I got going on. But that was just a little way I overcame this, which I got a whole list as well, but I just wanted to give y'all that. So overcomplicated strategy. So this is another thing. Overcomplicated strategy. So when it came to trading, for me, the strategy that I trade nowadays is so much more simple. So much more simpler than the strategies that I was trading in the past. In the past, I was looking for so many things. I was looking for structure to be bullish, demand zone, liquidity. I was looking for a break of structure. I was looking for a specific zone to look like this. I was looking for so many things. And if one of them wasn't there, then I wouldn't take it. And then guess what would happen? It would actually end up working. So that's one thing that hurt me the most when it came to trading, is that I would overcomplicate shit so much. When I switched it to just one or two things that I look for, that's when I started becoming consistent. That's when I started hitting more. That's when I actually started to become better as a trader. When I just focus on a couple things, not just one, not just two, but when I focus on just a couple things. Okay, so overcomplicating my strategy is one of the biggest things that held me back. I always thought that I needed this, I needed that, I needed so much confirmation just to enter a trade. That's what fucked me up. Is that I thought I needed so much confirmation, everything had to be perfect, because I'm naturally more of a perfectionist. So I thought that, oh, this has to be perfect, this has to be perfect, that has to be perfect, that has to be perfect. But in reality, it didn't have to be perfect. None of it had to be perfect at all. It's not about perfectionism. It's just about, this could work, so let me take it. If I've tested this out and I know that it works, it has an 80% win rate, 70% win rate, then let me take it. It's not about, oh, this has to be aligned, this has to be aligned, this has to be aligned. No. It's like if you want to go up and talk to a girl, but then you say, oh, well, I need to have my shoes tied. The lights need to be this certain color. It needs to be a certain temperature. She needs to be a certain race. She needs to have her hair a certain way. That's too many rules. That all those rules, if you have all those rules, you're not going to execute. You're not going to execute. You're not going to go up to that girl and you're not going to get no pussy. But if your only rule is you just have to smell good, and then you go up to her, if that's your only rule, who do you think has more possibilities, who do you think has more possibilities of actually pulling that girl, smashing her? The first person who has all these rules, or the second person who only has one rule, and that one rule is to smell good? And I used that approach when it came to this, overcomplicating my strategy. I would always think, okay, wait, I need to do this, I need to do that. But once I let loose and I learned from the mistakes in my personal life, then I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna apply that shit and apply it to the charts, and it hasn't been easier. I mean, it has been so much easier. So what changed and how I fixed it? So number one is going to be journaling. So how I fixed hesitation is I journaled. I just journaled. I saw that hesitation was at the top of the list on everything, and I journaled, and I saw that because I journaled. So once I saw that hesitation was all over my fucking journal and the reason why I was taking all the losses, then I knew that I needed to focus on that more than anything else. I needed to focus on entry, execution. So that's when I started focusing on execution more than anything else. And once I focused on execution, I recorded my trades and I started looking at how the candlesticks were reacting whenever I would take a W. How did it react? What was a good trade? How were the candlesticks reacting at that specific area? Why did I take this W? Why did I hesitate in this specific situation? So I just focused a lot on execution. And that was the main thing that I focused on. And when I focused on execution, my hesitation went down the drain. It went down the drain. Now, are there going to be times where I hesitate? Yes, but I don't let that hesitation dictate if I'm going to take the trade or not. I feel that nervousness, but I take the trade anyways. Because if it's everything that I'm looking for, if it's rejecting the way that I want it to, I'm going to take it. Even if I get in a little late, I'm still going to take it, because I'd rather take a loss, but I executed the trade with confidence, than take a W and I got lucky. I hesitated and I got a little late. I got in a little late. Honestly. So whenever I take losses, I don't even care. I don't even care about the loss. I'm more focused on, did I hesitate? Did I execute properly? Did I execute how I like to execute? And if the question is, if the answer is no, I didn't execute with confidence, I was scared, and I still took this trade, then I got to work on some shit. So journaling has helped me do this, and that's why I think journaling is very important. It's very, very, very important if you want to get over anything that you have. If you start journaling your emotions and what emotions you feel when you took that trade, you're going to start to see patterns. It's either going to be hesitation, fear, greed, whatever, FOMO, but you're going to start to see that, and you can focus more on that. And then you can ask yourself the question, okay, well, how can I get over FOMO? What am I fearful of? I'm fearful of missing out. Why? Because I miss out a lot. Okay, well, next time, let me just hold a runner. And if it doesn't work, then oh well. But I can just hold runners. So stuff like that is something that you can do once you start journaling your trades. But first, you're not gonna understand what emotions are triggering, or you're not gonna know what emotions are hurting you until you actually journal. You might have an idea, but when it's there on paper, when you have data, statistics to back it up, you're gonna be like, holy shit, like I do need to work on this. So that's how I fixed hesitation. Number two, fear of losing. What I did was I focused on mindset more than price action. So when it comes to fear of losing, it's very important because why are we fearful? We're fearful because we're not mentally prepared or we're not confident in our strategy. But a lot of the times, it's not even strategy, it's just the mindset. If you're fearful, fear is just an emotion. So if you're fearful of losing, if you're fearful of something, then that means it's just an emotion. So how can we override this emotion? We can override this emotion by thinking logically and fixing our mindset. So we have to switch our approach. If I'm scared of a cat, it's because what my mindset is that all cats are scary, all cats are mean, all cats scratch people. But if I switch my mindset to cats only hurt people if they don't like you or if they feel threatened. So let me not be a threat. Right there is a mindset shift. You're the same person, it's just a mindset shift. So for me, I thought about it like, okay, if I'm fearful of losing, it's because my mind, because if I'm thinking about the markets as, oh shit, I'm scared, or my expectations are too high, or if I have these dumb expectations for the markets, then yes, obviously I'm going to be fearful of losing. But if I think about it like, oh, well, if I take this loss, I know it's a part of the strategy. My strategy is not 100% win rate. Oh, if I don't make a lot of money in this trade, it's cool. Maybe I can size up next time. So what I did to actually focus on this was focus on mindset. But I'm not just going to tell you just focus on mindset. What I did was I listened to these successful traders and them talk about trading psychology every single day. Like I'm literally crazy. I don't know if I'm crazy or I'm just extreme, but I listened to Mark Douglas. He has like an interview and he has a couple interviews on YouTube, even his audiobook Trading in the Zone, and I listened to that at nauseum. Like I'll listen to that every single night while I'm sleeping. That's what I listen to. You know, people listen to rain sounds, people listen to all this other shit. I'm listening to Mark Douglas while I'm sleeping because I want those his lessons to be ingrained inside of my brain, inside of my mind. So when I take a loss, I'm not even like, damn, I took a loss and I'm so fearful and I don't give a fuck because I understand that's a part of the game, but it's because I've listened to the lessons so much. It's like if somebody's telling you that cats are bad, and you're listening to that every single day, and they're explaining to you why cats are bad and why cats are evil. What do you think is gonna happen? You're automatically gonna think cats are bad, cats are evil. But if you have somebody in your head, I mean, if you're listening to people talk about cats are good, cats are good, cats are good every single day, and you're gonna and the good nature of them, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna start to maybe like cats a little bit more, and that's because of what you're putting inside of your mind. A lot of the times, we'll act like our favorite artist or our celebrity or our favorite rapper. And that's because we start listening to them every single day, every single day. We start to sound like them. We start to dress like them. We start to act like them. So what I thought was, why not just listen to these successful traders? And the way they think is going to be ingrained inside of my mind on how I think. It's that simple. Like, it's that simple. And that's what I thought about when it came to this. So that's how I actually got over the fear of losing, is by just using that simple, I guess you could say trick. Hold up. I wrote this twice. But that simple trick. Honestly. And that's what I did. You don't have to do that. You probably don't have to do that, be that crazy. But I just, like, I wanted that mindset to be ingrained inside of my mind. So I listen to that every single night. Like, I'll listen to that tonight, before I go to sleep. Okay, number 3 is trade fewer times with intention. So this is how I overcame overtrading and taking too many trades. I really just focused on looking for what I need to look for, and that's it. So I'm not doing this 5-hour pre-market analysis. No. All I'm doing is I wake up and I hop onto the charts at 9:20. I have 9:10 and I have 20 minutes of prep. I'm looking for zones and that's it. I'm looking for zones and that's it. The nearest zones, that's all I'm looking for, and that's it. I'm trading. I trade fewer times with intention. So I understand if this trade doesn't work, then that's it. I'm done. Okay, but I only trade one time. And with that one time, I traded with intention. So I know if I take a loss, I'm not gonna revenge trade. I'm not gonna do any of that because I know that I'm only supposed to trade once. Now you might say, well, what if you take another trade and you break your rules? I'm so fucking disciplined that that shit doesn't even like cross my mind. Maybe back then, but now the shit that I do on a daily, like I track my macros, I go to the gym almost every single day. I read, I post content every day. I work on videos and I do all this other shit and I go to sleep early. I don't go out. All that shit is so much more difficult than not taking another trade. Not taking another trade is like fucking light work. That shit is light work to me. Like if I see another setup, I'm just not gonna take it because I understand my rules. Breaking my rules isn't shit. Like I've never, especially nowadays, I've never like had a problem with breaking my rules because my whole life is so disciplined that like doing that and breaking my rules is just, that's not even something, a rule that I would break. If it was a rule that I would break, is maybe like not counting my macros for a day. That's something that I would probably break because it's a little bit harder. But taking another trade because I lost and trying to make it back, that shit doesn't fucking faze me at all. Like I don't even think about that shit at all because everything else in my life is so much more consistent. Everything else in my life is so much disciplined that is just nothing to me. Like it's literally nothing to me. So if you do all that other shit, and I'm not saying to do it, but doing all that other shit made taking one trade so much easier with me. I just traded with intention, and that's it's simple. 4 is simplicity in your strategy. Okay, I don't know why I have action here. I think whatever, we'll just leave it there. But simplicity in my strategy. So like I said, I'm only looking for a couple things. That's it. Simplicity. I know that these couple things like supply and demand zones or a fib zone is all I'm looking for. Liquidity sometimes. And what I'm looking for as well is execution. How that candlestick's rejecting when it taps into that area, and if it's giving me a good rejection, then I'll take it. If not, then I won't take it. And that's it. That's literally it. Simplicity. I'm a minimalist. I don't like all this extra bullshit. I like simple. And that's all I do. I look for simplicity in my strategy. How many things do I need? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's it. And like what worked for me was looking for less things. So at first I was looking for structure and I was looking for this and I was looking for that. But now I switched it to, you know what? Let me just look for an area of rejection, which is a supply and demand zone or a fib zone, and some sort of rejection when it taps into that area. And that's it. And that's literally it. That's all I look for. Simplicity killed overcomplicated strategy. And that's for me. But this is all that worked. This is what worked for me. Everything is hypothetical until you try it. So go out and try some of these things. Let me know if it worked. Let me know what you guys think of the video. This is basically it. This is the end of the video. So if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, y'all leave a like, y'all leave a comment, y'all let me know what you think. Am I being crazy or am I doing too much? Or y'all let me know what y'all think, because this is what I go by and this is what I learned in the markets as a scalper. And yeah, y'all let me know. But other than that, that is it. And y'all leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think as well. Yeah, do all 3 of those things.